I'm Lola.
And I'm Amuna. Together, we've a combined 35 years of experience within the tech scene in North America and Europe.
We talk about the highs, the lows, the WTFs of navigating the technology industry and answer your questions about navigating tech careers.
This is Lost in Tech.
Howdy, howdy, hi.
Hello. How are we doing this morning?
Wonderful. I'm reflecting on the fact that our listeners and viewers will not notice that it has actually been a while since we recorded, because we will have just posted a bunch of episodes that we recorded ages ago, but we did not post.
Yes.
So for us, it's been a while, but for them, maybe not so much, or a different kind of gap.
Yes. But at some point, they did feel a gap of sorts.
Yes.
Quite a lengthy gap. And a lot has happened in that gap.
Life was lifing for everybody.
Yes.
But we accept that.
We accept that and we keep, what was it? I've been seeing on social media, which is like, we watch and we don't judge.
That's right. That's right. We're not actually going to do that meme because it comes with a lot of dart throwing.
Really?
But
okay, no dart throwing. But the words are true. We don't judge.
We don't judge ourselves, and we accept. But how are you?
Busy. Good. I think most people are probably feeling right now, but as you approach end of year, it's always like a whirlwind of like all the things. Like there's more things to do than time. Mm-hmm. And that could be work. That could be personal. There's always a mix at the end of the year. And so definitely feeling that need to hurry up and close out in some like good way.
It's always that. It's really interesting, that pressure, isn't it? This like, it's just a transition from one date to another, like any other day is.
Truly. But
it feels very big that you need to close the year well and start the year well. And it's this big momentum.
It's almost like an unnecessary pressure.
It is. It is an unnecessary pressure. And we apply it to ourselves.
Yeah. Maybe it's an opportunity for us to reset that as I go into my day with all the things I need to do before the end of the year. Maybe I don't have to. Maybe I could do it January 2nd, and that's okay.
And that is okay, because the other thing that I have learned is we set these personal, particularly with work, it's like, these are all my to-dos and I need to finish the year. But you're almost never an island, certainly not in tech, right? So everybody around you is also doing the same thing. And your work is only as valuable as people being ready to consume it and work with it. So unless your to-do list involves stuff that's actually holding someone up, there's probably a bunch of productivity stuff that can wait until the new year, when like it's a bit quiet, and there is this funny period where like the last 2 weeks of December and the first 2 weeks of January, there are so many overlapping off days that it's quiet. Yeah. So like maybe that productivity actually just makes sense a little bit later in that quiet period.
Actually, as you say that, one of the things I've been wanting to do, that I've been telling myself I need to do before end of year, that I might use in that period, is I've been wanting to review my system of work.
Yeah.
You know, I normally have a system for how I like keep track of my notes and my projects. And I found that this year, maybe the system was heavier than it needed to be. And I've lost track of the value in the system I had created. And it's just kind of all over the place right now.
Yeah.
And so I need to revisit that. I need a system, but...
So you're my system inspiration, actually, because I feel like because of talking to you maybe a couple of years ago, I really doubled down on my Notion addiction.
Oh, yeah.
That's and I was organized in Notion. And then I set my team up in Notion. The interesting thing that happened this year is we used to have this very distinct separation between like where product documentation and strategy and like briefings existed and where development was tracked, like in Jira. And now the whole engineering org has moved to linear, which feels more Notion-like. And so my team has slowly been abandoning Notion because it's got this overlap with the way linear works. And I've been resisting because I was like, no, I do my backlog and I organize everything top down at program level. but nobody wants to be in Notion anymore. So in the last couple of months, my own productivity system is failing because it's not where the work is happening. No.
Interesting.
And so I might take a leaf out of your book and just sit with Linear a little bit towards the end of this year and be like, Linear. Okay. So I feel like it's supposed to be this best of both worlds. So like, because, you know, all the kind of design and product people went towards Notion, but like engineers went towards Logsec for like long form and then combining. And I think like your Jira and your tools like that, they feel like a lot of admin for the same value. Whereas I think Linear is like this new grade of tool that just fits, and you can, you know, create tasks in Slack, and it does allow you to organize program level stuff. It does have some long form capabilities. So it feels more nimble than existing products.
Always going to be a new tool.
I know.
And I feel like you kind of have to just
You're always going to be behind.
Yeah, you just commit and just work with it. But
I think it's the commit, but you have to also be pragmatic. I'm at the stage where I committed fully to Notion. It is not where my team productivity is. And I have to take a breath, let go of my absolutely gorgeous structures and like, you know, databases that have been set up so beautifully, but which I am the only one who updates these days. And just follow the team and follow the momentum. There's new tech on the table and we got to go with it.
Maybe we should, I think about this, maybe we should sell our Notion template.
There are thousands of people who sell templates. So I've tried to buy templates and I don't actually think it's a good system because you always need to customize it so much that you might as well have built it yourself.
But I think that if you were to maybe approach it in a lighter weight way.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
It would be easier, which is what I'm trying to do. It would be easier to customize to however you need it.
Maybe we can set ourselves, like maybe for our Patreon, when we finally get that going, we can set it up. Because one of the things I'm proud with my Notion backlog is I have banned the term P0 and P1 in my team. I'm like, if it ain't one thing, you're chatting shit. It's not a P0. It's just a high priority. So we've just been stack ranking. It's like, what are we doing now? What are we doing next? What are we doing later? And all I'm going to do every week is we're going to stack rank and we're going to move stuff up and down. So the way that we've set up our Notion backlog is it's a quarterly view by strategic initiative and then project. And we just move it up and down because the priority is shifting, and every sprint you kind of think, is this now more important? That's it. P0, get out of it. Like, I don't know what that means. If you're going to give me a B0 list with 10 things on it, doesn't make any sense.
I like that.
But yeah, there's some productivity stuff. I think we were also talking about some shifts we wanted to make to this podcast and how we do it. Yeah.
Well, we were reflecting just on, you know, the time that's passed. It's always a good moment to think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And like in our conversation, we were talking about some of the initial impetus for us to do the podcast. And a lot of it was to walk through and talk through situations our listeners were going through and help coach and guide as an extension of our inability to keep up with our like LinkedIn inbox. It wasn't really to focus on like the news of the day as much as to connect with the day-to-day challenges and
realities of people
of the work. And so we definitely want to get back to that. So I think we're going to be pivoting more towards talking about those situations that people are experiencing and coaching, guiding.
I feel like I love having opinions, and we know that Lala is never short of them. But there are a lot of people on the internet who are just sharing their opinions. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it's not. Why we started this was to provide value and something that existed in our LinkedIn inboxes and still exists in our LinkedIn inboxes and still exists in so many relationships and acquaintanceships that we maintain, where people are asking us to share our lived experience about working in tech. And it is the thing we're most uniquely set up to do and talk about. And it's still the job that we do every day. So I'm going to leave my favorite supervillain alone. We're going to maybe, be thoughtful about maybe responding to like comments about people and like the humans at the heart of this industry and like the ones we care most about and the things that are like not controversial. It's who we're here for.
Yeah. So you'll probably hear all of our hot takes, but more so focus on situations that you bring to us. So with that, we encourage everyone to please share. You have our email.
help@lostintechpodcast.com.
Yes, we are live on the LinkedIn's. I mean, Twitter or X.
You can find us there. We're there. We're there.
Yeah. If you send us a note.
I will commit to checking it more often. It is actually on one of my browsers, so yes, it's there.
But send us emails, reach out to us, pigeon notes, whatever you want to send our way. We will be there, and we're happy to talk through and hopefully add some helpful tips to the situations you all are experiencing.
Absolutely. We've made this show for you, and we want to hear your stories. We have our combined 35 years experience in tech. We have an incredible bank of experts to call on. We are your safe space. So send us your tech challenges and we'll help you create some draft decisions through some real talk.
You've been listening to me, Mamouna Oladipo.
And me, Olayo Pearson.
Edited and produced by me, Michael Bussa, with theme music by 031 Mash.
Email us at help@lostintechpodcast.com or DM us at lostintechpod.